Maybe your doctor prescribed it, maybe your employer is covering it, or maybe you're just tired of doing everything right and you're still not seeing results. If you're on a GLP-1 or seriously considering it, this episode is not here to debate your choice. You're on it. Let's talk about it. This episode is your toolkit to help make it work for your body while you're on the medication. In the show notes, I created a GLP-1 toolkit that outlines what we discuss here, but it also gives you more than I could actually add in the podcast. It will include things like what labs you should start to monitor. Now, this is incredibly urgent. In June, 4 major organizations, which included the American College of Lifestyle Medicine and the Obesity Society, issued a joint statement on GLP-1s, and they are acknowledging that the shot is just not enough. They now recommend screening for nutrient deficiencies. They want you to support muscle and bone, and they want you to evaluate your diet quality. I think that this is so important right now. It's so timely because with these medications being available now by mail, you don't even need a doctor. Comprehensive care really matters more than ever. And if your provider is not asking the right questions, it might be time to find one who will. So if you're on it, here's what you're likely feeling or facing. Many women on the GLP-1s experience a mix of progress and problems. You're not as hungry, but you're not necessarily eating better. Your digestion has slowed down, but maybe your energy has too. You might be losing weight, but is the scale telling you, are you also losing bone, muscle, or other key nutrients? And you might be feeling disconnected from your body cues. This is the part that nobody really talks about enough, is that when your hunger is turned down and your food noise disappears, these are all wonderful things, but at the same time, we don't magically become Brussels sprouts eaters or broccoli eaters. In fact, we might even be avoiding it because of the nausea and the digestive discomfort that you're feeling. So fiber and protein intake are going to be plummeting, and many of my clients end up defaulting to more fun foods, chips and ice cream and cake, because these are not full nutrient-dense meals and they are easier to tolerate when you're not feeling that great. This really does matter because fiber, it's not just for fullness, it feeds your microbiome and it supports your own GLP-1 production. Eventually, if you do want to get off of this, we want to be able to use this as an opportunity to get rid of that food noise, but also to start training yourself to select better food choices that will help your own body make its own GLP production. Fiber also triggers digestive enzyme release. It slows down glucose absorption, which the medication is doing because it's slowing down your gut motility, and that in itself will slow down glucose absorption. But fiber also provides bulk. It helps move things along your digestive tract, and that is incredibly important, especially if your digestion is slowing down. Now, 24% of people who are on GLPs, they experience constipation. And not having a daily bowel movement is like not taking out the trash from your kitchen when the can is full. So fermentation is really something that we're looking at when this happens. The food could be sitting in your gut for too long. It can create gas, bloating, discomfort, because the food that's actually in your stomach, while it's taking longer to move through the body, it's attracting bugs that tends to feed off of the food that is fermenting in your gut. Stomach acid and enzyme release is going to change. Fiber becomes harder to tolerate, and I get it. I've seen this actually a lot with my clients, even who are not on the GLP-1 medications, and that is only because of perimenopause and the changes in your estrogen actually change your microbiome as well. And I've also seen it with clients who have done long-term keto, who don't have the fiber and the bulk to feed the good bacteria. The fiber and what we call prebiotics is actual food for the good guys. We want to think of it as the microbiome as like this playground where there's good guys and bad guys on the playground. And the good guys, your good bacteria, they eat off of your prebiotic foods. And the bad guys eat off of things like what has been sitting in your gut for a long time. And if they proliferate, there's an imbalance. Now we have the good guys are kind of getting beaten up by the bad guys. So in your toolkit, I have added a constipation cure, and I've also added the Bristol stool chart. Now, number 4 on the Bristol stool chart is ideal, and anything below a number 4, you really want to use this constipation cure handout that I'm going to give you. Now, we're going to quickly talk about protein. It is not just for muscle mass. It supports enzymes, the creation of enzymes. It's the raw material that your body needs in order to support many, many, many processes in your body. It supports your thyroid, your cortisol function, and it enables detoxification because of the enzyme factors. It prevents sarcopenic obesity, which is that combination of low muscle and high fat. And I want you to download that toolkit because I've added key ways to include protein and nourishing foods strategically that will not make you uncomfortable if you're going through a period of nausea. And it has a lot of hacks to prevent you from feeling terrible while you're on the medication. So be sure to download that. We also want to assess for your nutritional gaps. Eating less overall increases your risk for nutrient deficiencies, and it slows down your digestion, as we just talked about, but things like B12 are also not optimized. And you could experience lower levels of B12. If you have low levels of B12, you could wreck your energy, and that will impact your motivation to exercise and get out there. We want to also optimize magnesium, iron, and zinc. These are already common deficiencies in the American diet, but they get worse with low intake. And low zinc could look like frequent colds, a loss of taste, some hair loss. Low iron would look like fatigue, dizziness, lightheadedness. Think of iron deficiency anemia. And magnesium is such a huge element in the diet, and we are very much deficient in it. Magnesium is responsible for smooth muscle contraction, so you might end up with cramps. There's just so many factors that magnesium is responsible for. It's a cofactor in so many processes. I'm sure you could look it up. And in fact, irregular heart rate is one of the side effects of a low magnesium. When I was working on a telemetry floor, we would actually push magnesium for our cardiac patients. So that's really such an important element. In the lab section, I outlined some great tests to add to ask your doctor to run, and they can help monitor nutrient deficiencies. And you can even use those and bring them to your 360 wellness assessment with me. I can even look at those. Those tests will give you an assessment of where you are with your nutrient status. There is a lot that you can tell from simple tests like a CMP, which is a complete metabolic profile, and a CBC, which is a complete blood panel. Now, we want to preserve muscle and bone, and here's the statistic that matters. Up to 20% of GLP-1 weight loss is from muscle mass. So if you're not hungry, you still need nourishment, and that means we're going to have to prioritize protein, even if you're not hungry. We want to make sure that you're eating every 4 to 5 hours and doing some strength training so that you don't lose your muscle mass. We want to stabilize your blood sugar, get those nutrient-dense meals, and make sure that you're supporting your digestion. In the toolkit, I have recommendations for enzymes that will help you with motility and keep things moving along. So we want to create that emotional safety around your food, and you can use the Calm Plate in order to do that. You can see that in the show notes. I have that listed there for you. So minimum baseline for protein should not fall below 0.4 and 0.5 kilograms of body weight per day. And anything less is going to increase your risk for muscle loss and hormone dysfunction. So we want to also prevent that sarcopenic obesity. Now, the functional medicine perspective is that most plans, they're going to stop at calorie reduction. Functional medicine goes deeper, and we ask things like, what's changing in your digestion? What's changing with your detox pathways? You want to make sure you have open detox pathways so that you can get rid of the fat that holds toxins in your body. Are you actually absorbing what you're eating? What's happening under the hood, especially if you're in perimenopause or if you have chronic stress or even any sort of autoimmune disease? So weight loss from undereating can look like progress, but can leave you depleted. I want you to check out the functional medicine toolkit. I'm going to discuss in depth extra functional medicine labs that I think would be very helpful in this stage. We have level 1, level 2, and level 3. We want to definitely be assessing your liver function, making sure that that pathway is open so that when you're processing all of the weight loss, your liver can handle it. make sure that you look at that in the show notes. Like I said, that toolkit, it has real support strategies for you in this time frame, and it will help you transition off of the medication if you want to in the future. Use this toolkit as a prevention plan. This is not as a response to any sort of side effects. You're going to get a constipation and motility support in there, digestive enzyme boosters, protein and fiber hacks, questions even to bring to your doctor, a lab and nutrient checklist to guide your care, and you can grab that in the show notes. Okay, my friend, that concludes this episode of the Hormone Shift Show. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next week.